Indiana has fewer state parks than any of its surrounding states, but many of the parks it does have are great places to visit and hike. I'm Big Dave, the parks professor. In my 27 years of hiking, I have visited and hiked in every Indiana state park. In these videos, I'm going to rank all 25 Indiana state parks, starting at number 25 and ending at number 1. In this video, we're going to look at the bottom 10. These rankings are solely my opinion, and they are based mainly on the park's scenery, hiking options, amenities, and when applicable, historical value. Starting with number 25, we find White River State Park. There are two Indiana state parks that don't fit the usual mold of a state park, and therefore don't rank well under my criteria. This is one of them, and yes, we're going to see the other one pretty soon. This park occupies a greenway along the White River in downtown Indianapolis. It has some paved bike trails, some nice riverside scenery, and some cityscape views of the Indianapolis skyline, but that's about it. For hiking, I prefer Eagle Creek Park, a fantastic city park on the west side of Indianapolis, over this state park. Climbing up to number 24, we find Summit Lake State Park. This park gets its name from its location a few miles west of Hoosier Hill, the highest point in Indiana. Unlike the previous park, this park does fit the usual mold of a state park, and that's kind of its problem. It has a man-made lake, a large campground, and some nice trails through some nice forest and nice prairie, but it has no unique scenery or features, and it has no unique amenities. Literally every state has multiple state parks like this one. It's a nice place to spend a few days, but nothing more. Crashing in at number 23 is Falls of the Ohio State Park. This is the other park in these rankings that doesn't fit the usual mold of a state park. It's centered around a fossil museum across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. The fossils in the museum come from a fossil bed on site that is seasonally submerged by the river, and that fossil bed is one of the best fossil beds in the entire Midwest. Thus, this park does have a unique feature, which is why it ranks above the previous two parks. Still, this park offers no lodging, and once you have spent a couple of hours touring the museum, taking in the river views, and hiking the short nature trail, you've seen everything there is to see at this park. It's an interesting place to come for a short visit, but only fossil enthusiasts will spend a lot of time here. Flowing in at number 22 is Potato Creek State Park. Located a few miles from South Bend, this is the largest park we've seen so far. It has a nice and extensive trail system that includes 3 miles of paved bike trails, and it has a large developed campground with a lake and the usual aquatic recreation. But the terrain is persistently flat, and the couple of low hills in the park offer no views whatsoever. Therefore, there's no unique scenery here, and as extensive as the trail system is, it doesn't lead to anything you really want to see. Unless you happen to be in South Bend, maybe to watch a college football game at a famous venue, there's no reason to come here over any other park. Moving up to number 21, we find Versailles State Park. This park is very similar to the previous one, except that it is located in southeast Indiana, which is much hillier than northern Indiana and South Bend. It has the usual campground and recreation on a man-made lake, and it offers a few trails to explore both the steep ridges and creekside areas. The forest has nice leaf color in the fall, and at almost 6,000 acres, this is a very large state park. But at its core, this is just another park by a lake. There's no real unique scenery here. This park does have an extensive mountain bike trail system, so if you're into mountain biking, this might be the park for you. Before we get to the top 20, I want to thank you for watching this video. I don't make any money for anything I do for this project, so if you like this sort of video, please click the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. That helps other people to find this video and encourages me to bring more of this sort of thing your way. Tuning in at number 20 is Harmonie State Park. This park is located in extreme southwest Indiana, flush against the Illinois state line. The park is named for the historic nearby town of New Harmony, which was founded in the early 1800s by the Harmonie Society. But there are no historical features in the park other than an old barn and some old roads. This park has the usual campground and some hiking trails. Like most parks in this part of the ranking, the hiking trails don't take you to any real unique scenery. Probably this park's best feature is access to the Ouabache River, which forms this park's western boundary. The Ouabache is a major wide and rolling river at this point, and some picnic areas take full advantage of the riverside scenery. The Ouabache River access and scenery is the only reason this park ranks ahead of the previous parks. Moving up to number 19, we find Whitewater Memorial State Park. This park was built in the late 1940s to honor the people who served our country in World War II. It has a nice system of hiking trails and a nice campground. There is the usual park lake, but it also borders the much larger Brookville Reservoir, which is managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. Also, this park has kind of a unique feature, a collection of iron-laden freshwater springs. The springs can be viewed by hiking the Red Springs Loop Trail, which is the most difficult and my favorite hike in this park. This park is a little better than a typical park by a lake, so that's where it ranks. Flowing in at number 18 is Tippecanoe River State Park. Built in 1943, this park features some nice old-growth forest, and it protects more than 2 miles of its namesake river. It has a nice campground and quite a few trails, but many of the park's trails are horse trails. The park's most scenic areas, the river and the old-growth forest, are not extensively accessed by the park's hiking trails. If this park was designed with more of an eye toward hikers, it would rank much higher under my criteria. It is a popular destination for paddling on the Tippecanoe River, so if you're into paddling or horseback riding, this is a great park for you. Moving up to number 17, we find Ouabache State Park. This park is located along the upper reaches of the Ouabache River, hence the park's name. Like many parks in this part of the rankings, it has a large campground, a lake, and several hiking trails. It has a scenic paved bike trail along the Ouabache River, and there's some beautiful forest that makes for great fall leaf peeping in the corners of this park. But this park's most famous feature is its bison herd, which lives in a pen near the center of the park accessed by several hiking trails. Several state parks in other states have bison herds, but this is the only bison herd in an Indiana state park. That's enough of a unique feature to make this park rank this high in these rankings, but no higher. Standing strong at number 16 is Fort Harrison State Park. Located on the northeast side of Metro Indianapolis, this park occupies the site of an old U.S. Army fort. 7 Indiana state parks have their own full-service inns, and this is the first park we have encountered in these rankings to have its own inn. This park is also the only Indiana state park to have its own golf course. Thus, the amenities at this park are second to none in Indiana state parks. So why doesn't this park rank higher? Well, as I said, this park used to be a U.S. Army fort, and it still has all of the scenery of an old U.S. Army fort. In particular, it has no unique scenery whatsoever. It is a great place to hike or bike if you're in northeast Indianapolis, and it's a nice place to come if you want resort-type amenities at a state park. But many state parks in Indiana offer better hiking options and scenery than this one, so it doesn't rank too high under my criteria. Well, that's the bottom 10. Next time we'll look at the middle 8. Until then, I'm Big Dave, the Parks Professor for Parking Full Time. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.